Basically, at that moment they talking about what what our men should be entitled to, since we are like required to be drafted at 18. We have to register for the draft at 18 years old. All men, and women doesn't have to sign up. So that means if there's a major war breakout or anything like that, we would be us as men. We would have to go. Like if we had a major war, we would have to fight defending these people or these women that aren't required to fight in the war, because they're gonna be like sheltered and everything else and safe. They ain't got to fight. We men ain't got to fight. So that's basically what they're arguing. Uh, this the whatever podcast. So Andrew Wilson and some girls on the panel, some kind of dumb bimbos, but just gonna get into it.
Because
I'm not saying.
One second.
don't.
Nope, you can have a vote. I'm just asking.
It got to that. It got to that in the
double.
conversation.
Yeah, okay. Forget. Well, this was because we're in hypothetical land. I'm just asking that men's votes are double what a woman's vote is, because they have the burden of being drafted. And
Not all
men.
men. I would argue that it'd be the men serving.
Yeah, but why? That makes no sense.
$200.
Well, why would it make sense for a man
because they want to embrace American feminism, or are they more interested in maintaining their cultural traditions with American men?
We'll have to get to it later.
Here. I'm going to ask it. Let me just ask this for yes or no. Hang on,
I get it, because it's a pick. It's a selection.
Hang on. Stop. Just listen. I'm just going to ask this for yes or no's. None of these questions are going to be loaded, I promise you. Not a one of them. Question 1. Is it only men who have to sign up for the draft?
It's gonna be loaded. She gonna make it loaded. Watch.
Yes.
Do all men have to sign up
Might be wrong.
for the draft?
I might be wrong.
So then does the potential exist that all men could be drafted?
Yes.
Okay, so if the potential exists that all men could be drafted and 0 women can be drafted, then why is it that we don't give men double the voting that women do? Because we're under the assumption that all men could be drafted to go fight a war and 0 women ever will be.
Here we come. Keep 'em up, 'cause you ain't dumbass ass, boy. Sorry, man. Fuck.
It's just I don't think that would necessarily,
Will be. Go fight a war and 0 women ever will be.
it's just I don't think that would necessarily, be the solution that we're like looking for in our society, that men would get double vote. I don't know. I think if you ask men as a collective, like, hey, what do you think we should get for this? I don't think all their men would be like, I want a double vote over women.
Men, if you were to, do you think then that if you were to,
In my opinion, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Women, I don't think they should be able to vote. Too emotional, too irrational. They don't think clearly. They on a period every month. They switch moods every 30 days? I don't know. I'm not too sure how to period. I don't know why I'm saying I'm not too sure. I got a fucking kid. Like, you get a period once a month. So once a month, she's acting different for a whole week. She's gonna be in a emotional mood where it's gonna be erratic. It's not even gonna be simplified. It's gonna be everywhere.
and we could run this social experiment, I think it's interesting. So you think if you went down the street and you asked men, you have to sign up for selective service and women don't. So we want to, hang on, so we want to give you double the vote of women. Do you think most of them would say no? Think most of them would demand that women had an equal vote to their own?
Hell no. She ain't gonna. She don't want to say it. Just think around it.
The double vote is just a very.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. Maybe you guys want your will to whatever you want politically. You want your will to be the law of the land. If we asked women this question, would you like double the voting power of men? Do you think women would take it?
You want me to answer?
Starting with you.
Without an explanation as to why they...
No, you just get double the
just say-
voting power.
Yes, women would take it.
Well, would you take it?
Without the simple explanation, yes, I would take it.
Would you take it? Double?
Probably, yeah.
Double the voting power?
I mean, no. I mean, that's weird. That's not equal. I would want to know why.
It's just an
Because you're
offer.
women.
'Cause-
You just get it
But
because
for
you're
what
women.
reason?
No reason
it
whatsoever.
should still
No
all be
reason at all.
equal.
'Cause you
Yeah,
exist.
no, I would not.
Hasn't there been talk though about also having women being drafted?
I think there's currently something.
Hey, there's tons of talk about that. You think women are going to vote for politicians that get them drafted? You think that women are going to support politicians who institute a draft against women? Because I would say that the chances of that is exactly 0%.
Exactly.
You'd be
zero.
I would say that
Ain't
seeing
no
a
woman
draft for
Well,
women
these are,
in my
again-
lifetime is an impossibility.
And you mentioned the monarch, but in today's society, these wars are started by men. So why would I want to fight a man's war?
Okay, so let's assume for a second that they are all started by men. Okay? Does that mean that all men start them?
No.
No, why is that so hard to answer?
No, I don't think so.
No, the answer is no, right?
Yes.
All men don't start wars. So there could be
It's like she's trying to, like, why is she trying to jump loops and holes? She trying to make something out of nothing. Like, it's as simple as that. No. Y'all wouldn't. Y'all wouldn't support all women must get, like, sign up for the draft. Like, they won't do that. Like, no, I don't. There's, like, probably 1% of women that is going to be with that. And, bro, ain't no woman going for that shit.
men who are aggressive against other countries, right? And then men in those countries are defending that country
Exactly. I
from
feel
those
like
aggressive
women
men,
would
right?
talk about like peace resolutions and trying to do something other than going to war.
Yeah, I know, but the other country just says, no, we don't want a peace resolution, we're fucking invading, right? Don't you want your men to defend you if that happens?
I do.
course.
Okay, sorry. And if the time came, if that was the case, then okay, men should get whatever provision we all vote for.
But that's the case right now.
Yeah,
The
that's
case
what
right
it is
now is that
now.
if the United States gets attacked and invaded, that all domestic men could be drafted.
Okay, yeah.
And no
if
women can be, not a
and
one.
if they were, then I would for sure support there being
Why do they
special
actually need
privileges
to be?
for
I don't
you're
understand
saying that you're no special privileges for men. That's what you're saying. Like, why shouldn't men get an extra vote if they're being required to do that? I'm saying if in the case of that happening, in the case of another draft happening, then okay, we could talk about what.
Okay. Well, let's try this a different way, just real quick. Let us assume for a second that you live in a tribe where they practice human sacrifice, okay? And everybody who's only men, only the men are sacrificed. That's it, just them. Now, almost none of the men are ever going to be sacrificed. Almost none of them are. And you don't know which ones are going to be. You just know that
It can
all of
happen.
them have the potential to be. So you give all of the men extra food. Would you have a problem with giving all of the men extra food in that case?
No.
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 But it's just a potential. Why wouldn't you only give the extra food to the men who are gonna get sacrificed?
It's just in women, bro. Most women, just to be selfish, a lot of women got that main character syndrome, man. For real. That's why, man.
Very deep.
Stay on your purpose.
Very deep. So deep.
Can we all
Everybody's-
finish answering?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not allowed to speak. I'm not talking.
Yeah, I was just kind of confused on.
Well, I'll just go back to my question then. So I was asking if you were provided the opportunity, you have perhaps strong convictions about how you would like to see this country run. You have your own views on politics. wouldn't you want to empower yourself and women who perhaps lean more towards your own political viewpoint than, say, men, for example? Wouldn't you want to double your vote? Like, if given the opportunity, would you double your vote?
You can't think
Fucking
old way.
ass, man. Fucking ass. But, man, they speaking facts right now. She ain't listening. It's like she confused or something.
I don't think I would. I just don't think that doubling the vote.
You get 2 votes.
One person equal 2 votes.
Okay, since we're talking about hypothetical.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Pro-choice.
Okay, so let's assume that there was there is another political movement that seeks to restrict women from abortion. And in order for you to keep abortion available, one of the ways you can do this, if it was offered to you, you could double your vote and ensure that every woman in the country could get an abortion. Would you opt to double your vote?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, there you, okay.
There it is.
What about you? Would you double your vote? If it was,
I'm not pro abortions, honestly, unless the girl got raped.
I'm not. Oh my God, are you?
What? Sorry.
Zach Smith donated $200. If I'm not mistaken, before women can vote, men were able to vote because they had to sign up for the draft. Since women can vote, they should technically have to sign for the draft. All men should to vote.
Thank you, Zach Smith. Appreciate it. First off, I was just asking the doubling. I was trying to frame it, the abortion question to her. I wasn't asking you the abortion thing. I was just asking, would you double your right to vote?
No.
I honestly don't think I would. I don't trust myself.
No, I would not.
No.
Okay. So you guys all want less power then?
Yes. For equal power.
When it comes to
Okay.
voting for those big decisions, I'd rather generally smart men do it. Women and men are
Exactly.
different, so
The only reason I would take the
Smart
double
woman.
vote is to double up on whatever my husband would be telling me to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I trust my men to make those choices. So
Well, then
I'll
you
go
wouldn't
back
need to take the double. Wait, then Madison, you wouldn't need to take the double
Yeah, I
vote
said
because
no.
you're already giving him a double vote.
Yeah, no, I said
Yeah,
no. I said the only reason I would take the double vote is to do that. But I said
Oh,
no.
okay, I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. So wait, Zach
Base
Smith.
Madison.
Thanks, Andrew. Can I ask like a different hypothetical question
What
to
is it?
everyone? So if feminists did really, really push for equality within this certain topic that we're talking about, and you had to choose between keeping your right to vote and having to be forced into the military, would you do that, or would you let them take your right to vote away?
I would forfeit my vote.
You know y'all
I would rather not vote and go to the military. I mean, if that's the choice.
It's one over the other,
What?
correct?
One over the other. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
She
you
said
either
that's
you
not an
either
option. Is
you
that
either
not an
no, no,
option?
you,
She can't choose
That's
you
not an
either
option.
you either keep your
they're
vote
trying to-
Okay.
and go to the military,
get to
or you
be-
Oh,
don't
okay,
go to
sorry.
military
So I
and you
didn't
lose your vote.
understand. No. So I would.
Here, why don't we start with
lose
Mia? Go
my-
ahead.
I would keep my vote and go to the military.
I would do the same. Yeah, keep my vote, go to the military.
Really?
God, damn way y'all would.
I would not.
Hey, Captain, man. Hey, Cap.
I want to say I'd keep my vote, but I also, on the other side, I feel like this is just how I feel personally, honestly, with the whole political climate. I don't think my vote really matters per se, so maybe also forfeit, but I guess I would keep my vote. I'd enlist.
Okay. So going back, anyways, I'm going to read some
Whatever
chats.
that is.
Zach Smith, I appreciate the man. Men. So you were saying men were able to vote because they had to sign up for the draft. Well, yeah, that's pretty much one of the reasons men got the vote before women. We have low paladins here.
By the way, men can't vote unless they sign up for the draft.
That's correct. Maddie, can you read this?
The Vietnam draft is so far back in ancient history for these women that never even consider the draft. They have forgotten it even exists.
They really have, bro.
Yeah.
We haven't had a draft in so damn long. We weren't even born to even be listed, like to be having to fight in that, like, and they actually did forget a lot of get out a lot of people's memory, and I don't know if the schools even teach these women about this stuff, man. Like, I don't know how they forget, man. It's crazy, man. Just the way the world works now, how these females think, it's weird nowadays, man. You gotta know what you're doing for sure.
Yeah, somebody said, really? Yes, really. Men cannot vote unless they sign up for the draft. It's part of voter registration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you see, and that's where the whole, if we're fighting for equality, then one could argue, why shouldn't women have to enlist in order to get the right to vote? So.
Well, one not only could argue it, but that's what we're arguing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's being argued specifically here is that men can't even vote unless they sign up for the draft. Women have no such responsibility. So why is it that men's vote aren't doubled?
Who put that provision in place, though? Men or women? Who came up with that in the first place?
Let's assume for a second that it was men. Who cares?
Bro.
It's you pushing.
It doesn't matter if it was men or if it was women, bro. We have to protect our country or fight. But not most of the time we don't gotta fight, but the main thing is protecting, bro. I kind of lost my train of thought. Hold on.
And men or women, who came up with that in the first place?
Let's assume for a second that it was men. Who cares? It's you pushing for egalitarianism.
And men did that in order to ensure the protection of all the people. So it's like, in a sense, we're kind of indebted in certain ways to them for that, if you think about it.
But let us assume for a second that it was men. It's purely men. Not a single woman wanted there to be a draft ever. Right? And it was just men who put it in place. Why would that matter if the push is for egalitarianism and equality? I certainly never had an opportunity to vote on that provision. Brian certainly didn't. It's an old provision. So the question then becomes, well, okay, this is now the law of the land. You want equality. Why is it that we can't really be equal on this then? Why is it either you can't be drafted so that potential exists for you, so you have the same voting rights that I do, or why is it my voting right doubled just because that potential exists that I might have to do something you never would have to do on behalf of you?
No,
That's the question.
I fully understand that argument, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like saving money? Don't answer.